thing I wanted to ask you, did you watch the England game last night? And what did you make of them?
Look, I think it was a reasonable performance. Them games are tough because you're up against it. You're supposed to win them games, but it's not about winning; it's how you win it. I thought Morgan Rogers was brilliant. I like him a lot, to be fair. So I've got him jumped ahead of most of the number 10s out there. If I'm honest with you,
instead, would you put him in instead of Bellingham?
I have him ahead of him at this moment in time. That's just my personal opinion. I love the way that he plays. I love the role that he plays at Villa. I love the positions that he picks up. And at this moment in time, he's playing with a lot more confidence than the others. So for me, I have him ahead. I do like him a lot.
Yeah, it was a good performance by England. I mean, they've walked that group through.
Yes.
Without losing a game, without conceding a goal. It's been pretty easy for them. What do you make of this sort of new World Cup format? Because obviously, when you were playing for England, it was a lot more difficult to get there. But it's expanded now. The World Cup next year. There's a lot more teams in it. Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think there's too many teams?
It's good and it's bad. My son's out in the under 17s World Cup right now, and then you realise, it's really good. You got teams like Haiti, teams like that in there, but it's not good when they're getting. I think it was New Caledonia getting beat 16-0.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch. This is elite of the elite, and you don't really want to be seeing that sort of thing. But it's good to have these teams in, because the reality is some of these players might never ever get back into a World Cup, and that's their only chance. And then not just that, the families of them being able to go and go and experience that as well. Because even I was lucky enough to play in 2, and my family went, and they still talk about it now.
Yeah, amazing. You mentioned there your 2 sons, right? And this is incredible. Your 2 sons, they're both at Man City, right?
Yeah.
And that must be amazing for you. You know what I mean? Like, you as a person who played for Liverpool, obviously, you played for England. Now your sons, 2 of them, playing at that level. And we know how hard it is to make it. To have 2. I mean, you taught them everything they know?
The thing is, they're arguably one of the best. Chelsea are probably the best academies to be at this moment in time, especially for progression. They've got arguably the best players out there, and they've been there for a long time. I think they joined when the new training ground facility wasn't there. So they were at the old Platt Lane, etc. Tuesday and Thursday nights, really cold in a dome. It's warmer outside than in the dome. So you're having to take them to that, but they progress through that, and I've done a fantastic job. And I've got to take my hat off to City, because they're producing players. It might not necessarily be for Man City, but they're producing players within the league.
Yeah, no, amazing. And I've got to take my hat off to you, right? Because listen, I know. Because my son was at Academy, he was at MK Dons, he was at Leicester City, and I know what it takes. Obviously the kids have got to do their bit, but you as a dad, you got to take them all the time and take them around. Yeah. Do you do that? Do you do all the, taking them all around and taking them to training? Do you do all that?
Me and their mum were taking them to the training and taking them all around, etc. We were lucky in that sense as well that they're only 2 years apart, because if they were alternate years, you'd be there every day of the week, because they're doing so I think it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So imagine if you had them 2 in alternate years, you'd be doing the whole week of taking them to training. And that's one of the reasons, not just one of the reasons, but it was choosing Man City. I'm living not far from the ground, really. So I'm from the training ground. So it's either 20-minute drive or an hour and a half drive into Liverpool. So it was one of those ones that you've got to take into consideration what's the best place for them at this moment in time.
Yeah, you mentioned Liverpool. Sorry, I've got to mention it. What's happened to Liverpool, Emil? Right, last year they walked the league. Went out, splashed 450 million. Everyone thought, oh man, they're going to walk it again. They're not walking it
Again,
at the
look,
moment. I mean, you mentioned Man City. Then you must have been a bit torn at the weekend, but City absolutely took them apart.
No, I'm never torn when my son's not playing, so that's all good. But no, yeah, look, I think City are on a resurgence as well, so you need to be careful of that. But Liverpool, I think you've seen a case of getting players in and they're not. I'm not saying they're not compatible. They're not ready to hit the ground running. We've seen so many players that need to, especially in our league, where we put so much onus on the performance and them scoring goals and them sitting in this and winning games, etc. Especially at the top end of the table. If you don't do it, suddenly you're a bad player. These ain't bad players. It's just that they're struggling in this sense of, you've got to remember, this is the best league in the world.
Yeah.
You come to this league, we've seen players go to Germany, we've seen players go to all these different places and they couldn't cut it here. And then when they go to the other places, they're like superstars. This is a tough league. I've grown up in it, so I kind of knew it. But when you're coming from the outside in, it's going to take you a year to get used to that. One that I've got to take my hat off to is Ekatika. He's just hit the ground running. He's fine with it. A young lad, a young bull who just wants to go and play. The others need to really step up.
Well, what was it though? Is it the pressure? Because you Leicester to Liverpool, it's another level, isn't it? When you go to them sort of clubs, another level of scrutiny. What is it? Is it just that, the pressure?
The pressure, the scrutiny, everything. You got to remember, I was a lad, born and raised in Leicester, so I could more or less do whatever I wanted. Won trophies at Leicester, went to 3 cup finals in 4 years. Won trophies, so again, you could more or less do whatever you wanted. Then you go into an institute that is not only known in that city, which is huge for football, but known throughout the world. And now you've got to really get serious about football. And you realise the pressures of being who you are and where you are. I was winning trophies at Leicester, walking around Times Square, no problem. But as soon as you sign for Liverpool, it's a different kettle of fish in America in 2000. So you realise how big the magnitude of the task that you are when you go into a club like that, and it's not easy. Not everyone can deal with that, you know. So we've just got to give them a little bit of time to just settle in. I still think they'll be fantastic. I still think they're fine. Obviously, this season's kind of a write-off right now, but next season, don't worry about that, Robbie.
Okay, all right. Let me fire a few questions at you now, right? So, who's going to win the World Cup next year in the USA? You know what? In them sort of conditions, I don't favour the European teams. It's going to be humid. It'll be hot and humid. It's going to be horrible. Yeah. So I would say a South American team or something. They're the ones who it favours because they're used to that sort of climate. We're not used to that, and I've seen it with my son going to Qatar, and it's roasting, but it's not even that hot. But compared to Qatar, it's not really that hot. It's probably 28 degrees, but Qatar gets to like 40s, and the humidity is not that bad either. So, and they struggle with that. So, I can imagine that they're going to. I would love to say England. We do have a squad that is capable of that. We do have players. If you get the right system, if you get the right players. If we go back to 4-4-2, no, I'm joking. We need you then. We go back to 4-4-2, we need you, man. Got to hold that ball up.
But you know what? You know the funny thing is 4-4-2 will come back round. It will come back round and they'll find a system that, because at the minute they're playing, I think a lot of teams play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3.
Yeah.
But when they defend, they go back to a 4-4-2.
True.
So there's no reason why you can't attack as a 4-4-2 and then defend as something else.
No, very true. All right. So you think a South American team will win the World Cup? Who's going to win the Premier League this season?
You're waiting for me to say it. I think it'll be a shootout between you and City. The pressure is, have you got players that have I've seen it over the line at that critical point? Have you got a manager who can see it over the line at that critical point when the pressure's on? City have got a manager, and City have got players that have done that. But I will say, if it is the year for Arsenal to win it, it's this year. Not this season, sorry.
Okay, and finally, who's going to win the Champions League?
Ooh.
That is a hard one.
Especially this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, it's too. I couldn't answer that one, to be honest. I wouldn't know, because again, it's difficult to answer that, because when people go further into that cup, how are they going to be? And again, nerves. Teams that are players that are not used to it. Teams that are not used to it. So I couldn't answer that one right now.
Yeah, no, that's a really tough one. It's hard, so you're all right. But Emile, listen, I really appreciate you coming on today.
No, thank you.
You know, gracing us with your presence. Of course, you know, we're raising money here for those victims down there in Jamaica. We've got lots of people who've been watching the stream. Loads of people have been donating as well so far. So it's really going well. We're on till 12 tonight. So, and somebody like you coming on, you know, gives us a lot of encouragement to keep it going. So thank you very much.
No, it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, because again, my parents are from the Caribbean. My mother's family is from Barbuda, and that got hit probably about 10 years ago by a hurricane, and we get regular. So it's a wonderful thing that we can do to help that side of the world as well.
Yeah, and you're looking well, man. You're looking well.
Thank you.
Keep it up, and good luck to your two sons as well. And well, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big up, Big up.
Big up. Big up.